Okay, let's take a look at problem 1033 in the textbook. It says, find the equation of the exponential function y equals ab to the x, passing through the points 2, 3.84, and 3.3072. So they give us these 2 points, and they want us to find the equation in the form y equals ab to the x. The first part of doing problems like this is to understand what the a and the b mean. Now the A represents the zeroth element, or the y-intercept if you were going to graph it. The B represents the multiplier, because remember, it's an exponential function. So our goal is to find the A and the B and then write the equation in the form y equals ab to the x. So if I had a table of values x, y, right? And I had 0, 1, 2, 3. They gave us points 2 and 3. So 2 is 3.84 and 3 is 3.072. Now, this is considered an easier version of this problem, and next video I'll show you another problem where it's not as easy. And the reason it's easy is because they gave us 2 points that are 1 apart in the x dimension. They gave us 2 and 3. So all we have to do first is find out what we're multiplying 3.84 by to get to 3.072. So to do that, I take 3.072 and I divide it by 3.84. And if I do that on my calculator, it comes out to 0.8. And 0.8 is now the multiplier. We're multiplying by 0.8. So in terms of the A and the B, if we look back up here, the B is the multiplier. So this 0.8 is the B. Okay. Now we need to find the A, the 0th element. So if I look at this table that I drew right over here, right? Here's the table I drew. To get from 3.84 to 3.072, we multiplied by 0.08. That means if I now want to go backwards to find the 0th element, which is one way of doing it, I could now divide by 0.8. And I could do that twice to find out the 0th element. So if I take, the first step is to take 3.84 and divide by 0.8. And if I do that on my calculator, 3.84 divided by 0.8, I get 4.8. So that means this is 4.8. And now if I do the same thing again, I take 4.8, so this one came out to 4.8. And now if I do it again, I take 4.8, and I divide it by 0.8. And I do that on my calculator, I get 6. So that means the 0th term is 6. And if you look back at what the A represents in the equation, the A represents the 0th term. So that means that 6 is the A. So now I have A, and I have B, and I can write the equation. So I have y equals A, which is 6, times B, which we calculated down here, is 0.8 raised to the xth value. And there's the equation of the exponential function written in the form y equals ab to the x. If you wanted to check your work, you could try one of the points they gave us. So they gave us 3, so we could come over here, make a little space, and I could substitute in a 3 for x and see what y is. So I would get y equals 6 times 0.8 to the 3rd power. And if I do that on my calculator, I type it in, I'm going to get y equals 3.072. And yes, that worked because that was the point they originally gave us.